and whatnot.
Ready for countdown?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
So yeah, like I said, we're going to be playing New Game Plus Glitchless Deadcore. This is a 3D platformer made by 5-Bit Games. Do you know what year it was made, Waka?
2008. October of 2008. Really small indie team. It's like 6 people total who made this game. And hats off to them because this game is absolutely phenomenal.
So we just got a donation. Can I read it?
Go for it.
We got $30 from the French Restream Kubgi saying small donation from Baguette Restream. Love you guys. Keep on the great runs.
Awesome.
Thank you. Coincidentally, actually, Deadcore is made by a French team of developers. That small team of developers was actually French. And then the game went on to be going in the Ultimate Decathlon, which is a really big speedrun. We'll call them marathon, kind of like a triathlon or whatever. This runners have to learn more than one game at a time and run all of them. It's pretty brutal.
We're just finishing up level 1 here. But, so this is a New Game Plus file, so we're going to be getting through some of these early levels pretty quicker than you would from a fresh save. And we start with all of the upgrades because of that. Let's kind of go through some of the stuff that we're doing. Obviously, I got a jump and a double jump. And we got this dash. And then we have that blast you see there. It lets you blast jump. It's very similar to like rocket jumping in some other games. And we're going to be using that all over in this run.
Oh yeah.
Between that and optimal dashing is most of how you're saving speed in this. You really want to be dashing for a short amount of time and using it over and over again, because if you see we have this meter on the gun.
His ability to enter these purple fields as well. These fields are called grab fields.
Yep, that's another.
If he wasn't in the 100% save file, he actually wouldn't be able to turn them on to make those fields show up. So he's shooting white boxes to activate them, and he wouldn't be able to enter them either. So.
And then the gun itself can just shoot things too. It's mainly used for deactivating enemies for a short period of time or opening doors or turning on jump pads. You've seen me do that a couple times.
Wrapping up level 2 here.
Yep.
And there, and done.
Going to the third level, there's 5 levels to this game, but the first 3 are all going to be around 1.5 minutes or a little under, and the last 2 are quite a bit longer in this category. See, with these short dashes, I'm able to traverse big distances without losing my vertical height.
Yeah, you can actually hold the dash button and do longer dashes, but it's technically faster to do the short dash as well. One, because it conserves your dash meter, so you can do more of them, but also when you hold a dash down, you kind of slow down, and if you hold it for a long time, you kind of slow down in the middle of it. So it's better to just keep pressing E and doing short bursts of dashing. You'll notice those green circles on the ground, Sam just hit them multiple times. He just did it. Those are called checkpoints.
And you will refresh your dash meter when you reset on them. So you see I did that again there.
Yep.
I'm going to be hitting a lot more checkpoints in this run for safety in a marathon setting. But you would still grab a handful of them in the actual category, just like that, to refresh your dash. So that was the hardest obstacle on this level, so we're looking pretty good. This obstacle is really hard in the new game category of glitchless, but because we have dash jump, we really just go over the entire thing.
last year.
Getting into level 4. Now this is a crazy level. This is where in the normal playthrough you will unlock the gravity fields. So there's going to be a lot of weird stuff with the perspective changing. And there are some cool little tricks we can do while the camera is rotating. So you see how when it changes perspective, the camera rotates. Well, we keep control of our character's movement during that. So like right here, I'm going to hold forward while coming out of this, and it puts me up really high. So I can skip a bunch of these sections I was supposed to do. We'll do the same thing right here. I hold left as it's rotating, and I get extra height. I'm gonna grab this checkpoint. And we're gonna do that type of trick a couple more times.
This level is a really good example of how crazy level design can be in this game. This is not a straightforward level at all. It can be very confusing for people.
Yeah, the game doesn't really have super linear level design. There tend to be multiple paths in order to get to the end of the level, which makes it, oh, that's oof. So when you go for those really fast resets on a platform, sometimes you can mess up and do that. No worries, though.
You got plenty of time.
But yeah, it doesn't really have, there tend to be a lot of ways you can complete each of the levels. Which makes routing the game really cool.
Definitely. This section right here is kind of a nightmare a new game run. It's kind of gauntlet-ish. It's a
Gauntlet of Death.
Yeah, there's so many obstacles that you have to try and bypass, and there's just so many things that just wait and kill you.
Yeah, when you compare the glitchless category with no major glitches, you get to skip a lot more of the obstacles in no major glitches, which I think makes it a little less likely that you die, but then you also are having to do frame-perfect tricks. So you're losing time to execution, whereas in glitchless you can just die to a variety of different lasers.
Really, depending on how far back the checkpoint is, dying isn't really too big of a deal in this game.
Yeah, if you're right by a checkpoint, it hardly matters at all.
Respawning takes literally seconds, and you're likely to hit the reset button to go back prior to the death animation even occurring.
So here's another spot that I'm going to do those tricks where keeping momentum while the screen shifts. Just to skip a couple of those. We're gonna wait a second so I don't get decapitated by that laser. This is a section that seems really, really tricky when you're first learning the game, but it's not. You just go to the corner.
Yeah.
And you can't get hit. Sometimes the cubes will hit you and knock you out. There is very little RNG in this game. It's pretty much execution-based, but the enemy's spawn point and movement is not always the same, so that's where you can get messed up.
Oof. Jump.
I accidentally double jumped there,
That's
so
tight.
I
You made it.
had to land and jump again. That was much better. So this is the end of level 4. Going into the last level. Like, this is a part that can be annoying with the enemies that aren't always in the same spots. Those little guys are called mosquitoes. When you touch them, your screen goes black and white, and you lose a lot of movement speed.
They tend to kind of stick to you and can be really obnoxious. The final section of this stage in particular, actually, they can kind of
mess you up.
Yeah, they can kind of attack you, just like get attached to you and totally ruin the end of the run for you.
So I'm doing a safety strat here. Normally you would go through those laser gates, but you can see I'm avoiding all the checkpoints here. That's because once I get that orb, I want a fast respawn all the way back to there. So I wanted to make sure I didn't die in those laser gates, because it's quite a bit of time loss. I'm going to be doing another safety strat up here. Normally I would skip this next checkpoint as well, but we don't want to have to ride the elevator again.
You can go the high route?
Yeah, I'm going to go high route.
Alright.
I started doing this strategy here like a week ago because Waka was watching my stream and told me I should. It's faster, but you have to get a perfect height blast jump, which I did. But it already happened. Now we're just going to cross this gap.
To the right, there's a bunch of stage that the game had intention playing, but
We're not going to do that.
no, we're not going to do that.
We're in a rush. So now we are up to the top section of level 5. And what I have to do now to finish the game is I have to unlock or shoot 5 of these orbs, or 3 of these orbs. So we're just coming up
There's
on
mosquitoes.
the first one. Yeah, that strategy can be frustrating because the mosquitoes threw an obstacle. It's normally not a problem. Sometimes they get in your way.
Second orb. Which orb do you think is the hardest? Glitchless.
Glitchless?
Yeah.
I think this orb or the first one is the hardest. But the one that scares me the most is the third one because it's the biggest time loss.
Sure.
And because you do it at the very end of the run, it's more when like nerds are going to show up on a really good run.
Definitely.
And this is just another really long section where we're going to skip a bunch of checkpoints.
Yep. He's gonna go through this whole section. He's gonna skip them all. That way he can do the same strat he did earlier, where he basically fast traveled back to an earlier point, in which then he can proceed being a little even faster than if he had collected the checkpoints. There we go. Dodge that one.
I'm going to shoot that guy. He'll push me off right here. We're doing fine on ammo. In a new game category, on this orb, you can run out of ammo because you're doing all these blast jumps and stuff. And you gotta save at least 4 to shoot that orb at the end. So this is the very end. We're gonna be ready for time, assuming I don't get messed up.
Yep.
Ready? Right?
And
Time. It's a pretty good level 5.
Well done, Sam.
13-12.
12.
Shout-outs to Midwest Speedfest for having me here to run this game. Thanks to everyone who's donated, and shout-outs to the Deadcore community because it's the best speed game of all time.
Yeah.